Hey! Hello everyone, this is Aegon of Astora, and welcome back to my blind playthrough of Elden Ring. This is episode number 6, being recorded on Thursday, July the 21st, 2022. I hope you're all having a fantastic day whenever it is you find yourself watching this. So, it's been about a week since I last recorded an episode, and we don't have a huge number of things to discuss, but we do have a few things to discuss on my list here, so let's get right into it. I'm going to just start going through my notes. And the first thing, of course, as usual, but as I originally intended, the first thing is going to be we're going to look at the various different areas where we might go in this episode so that we can determine where we should go or ought to go. And I just noticed as well the sundial, I guess, in the bottom right corner actually moves. So that's interesting. Like, I figured obviously there was a dynamic time of day system, but yeah, had no idea it was actually moving. Another thing I may or may not have mentioned on camera is that we have all of these beacons and markers and whatnot that we can use. So I'm gonna place a beacon because this is sort of the area I want to explore today. So we've opened up quite a few possibilities here for places to go. And again, I think this really does just speak to the, I don't want to say enormity of this game, even though, yes, it absolutely looks enormous and seems enormous, but the, I suppose, open-endedness of it all, because in no previous Souls game has there been this much. I don't think so anyway, not even Dark Souls 1. Dark Souls 1 was perhaps the most open to sequence breaking and doing things sort of on your own terms of all the Souls games up to this point. Perhaps Demon Souls might be counted up there as well, but in this game it's just, yeah. You can go more or less anywhere you want within this area here, and I'm sure there's restrictions that I'm not aware of yet, but I figure we might as well open up as many possibilities as we can, at least within Limgrave, for paths to take before we decide to proceed on any one path. It's possible that in doing so, by not following the light, where the light is telling us to go, that I am doing something that will be maddening, absolutely maddening to many of you. You will just have to accept my sincerest apologies from the past, because I'm not posting this playthrough until it's done. So, yeah, apologies in advance. I do wonder if there's a barrel friend in here, sort of akin to the one we had in Sekiro. Was there a barrel friend? There was some sort of weird situation. I think it was a barrel friend. Anyways, again, I'm sort of all over the place already. Sites of Grace. We have several different places we could go. I'm looking at my notes down here as well as at the list. So, one place is where we just spawned, which is the Waypoint Ruins cellar. We bested the pumpkin-headed friend here in, I believe, the previous episode. And we have not proceeded, though we could. The other place is the Stormfoot Catacombs, where we got scared and ran away, as well as the Groveside Cave. There is still in the Stranded Graveyard, or the Cave of Knowledge, one of the two, there is still a fog gate there that we don't have the means to open yet, so I'm just going to leave that for now. The next place is Castleward Tunnel, as well as the lake-facing cliffs in Liurna of the Lakes. So that makes, by my count, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4, at least 5 different places we can go in this episode. But having said that, I think I do want to just continue exploring Limgrave. So that'll make this episode, Limgrave 4 or something like that. I'm still not totally decided how I'm going to name all of these episodes and what sort of conventions I'm going to use for that. What do these say? Still no sorcery. Mage ahead. Okay. That's interesting. Yeah, because, it could be maddening because it's possible there's not even a whole area here. Still no precious item. Magic ahead. Try stay calm. So yeah, I'm not sure. Okay, before we get ahead of ourselves, I need to finish going through my notes. So something else I was thinking of in the last week, again, it's been about a week since I recorded the previous episode, is this whole thing with trees and roots, and tree roots, how that is seemingly the central sort of theme or thing that the story is exploring in this game. The plot is centered around these tree roots, the shattering of the Elden Ring. Still not entirely clear what the Elden Ring is, but it does appear to have something to do with trees. I speculated in an earlier episode that it could have something to do with there's going to be some poison friends up here, so I'm going to want to be careful. Yep, there they are. Could this be a boss? Oh, just leave me alone, friends. I'm not bugging you. Just gonna hide in the bush here. It's not creepy at all. So essentially, we have all these tree roots in the game. It's more or less the central thrust of the narrative. And it's just had me thinking about different aspects of that and what that means and what the significance of it might be. Because of course we have this massive, massive Erd tree here. Again, I might be conflating the names or mixing them up. But yeah, trees and roots, they're a central theme of the story. And it's got me thinking about connections to different properties and different FromSoft things. And so starting, I guess, in FromSoft related things, the most directly related would be in Dark Souls, or sorry, not even in Dark Souls 1, where I'm getting ahead of myself again, is in Lord of the Rings. And that is the Ents, that in Lord of the Rings, again, insofar as George R.R. Martin is, or was involved in creating the story and the world for this game, it's perhaps not terribly surprising because George R.R. Martin is a huge Tolkien fan. So, and in Tolkien's Lord of the Rings, the Ents, again, I don't know really anything about Lord of the Rings other than this, or anything I look up, because I had to actually look it up to see what the friends in Lord of the Rings were called, because there's a bunch of talking trees, and they hold meetings, and they fight wars, and do all sorts of other things. I believe they were taught to speak English by the elves, which is an interesting point that we'll get back to in a second. But essentially, yeah, you have all of these talking trees in Lord of the Rings, and they're called Ents. And in Dark Souls 1, of course, in the Darkroot Basin, they're not talking trees, but they're humanoid trees that are also called Ents. I don't know if that is a direct reference to Lord of the Rings or to Tolkien lore, or if they're both drawing on a common source of, a common cultural reference, something called Ents. Ent is also, of course, a term that is used on the internet, or was previously used on the internet to describe people who smoke cannabis. So that's a thing as well. So that's in Dark Souls 1. And then the second thing, and this is something I don't think I would have known about were it not for Dark Souls 3 Let's Talk Lore and Bloodborne Let's Talk Lore, because it would have been in one of those series where someone pointed out, and I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this, the apparent references in Dark Souls 1 and in Bloodborne to, and also Dark Souls 3 to oh gosh darn it, I've already screwed it up. Yggdrasil, the world tree in, Norse cosmology, Yggdrasil. And Yggdrasil is, again, the world tree, the tree atop which the universe and everything rests. And I don't really know much about it beyond that, except that we see references to this very clearly in Dark Souls 1. In Ash Lake, we have, stretching out far into the distance, a huge number of arch trees that are holding up the world. Likewise, in Bloodborne, in the Hunter's Dream, which is very much a dream, or more or less in the dreamlands as I mapped it out in that playthrough. It's sort of at the bottom of the world, that from the Hunter's Dream we can see massive trees seemingly holding up the world above where the Hunter's Dream is situated. And in keeping with what we see in the Hunter's Nightmare elsewhere, we can't actually look up to the next level, but from the next level you can look down into the Hunter's Dream. So that's the second thing. And the third connection that I made, and this is one that I don't think anyone would have pointed out yet, although if someone did, then kudos to them, because it's not related to any of the, well, it's not directly related anyway, to any of the past FromSoft games or any existing properties. And that is, it reminded me of an excerpt that I read and wrote about from a book called Braiding Sweetgrass by an ecologist named Robin Wall Kimmerer. And I suppose I might as well read the excerpt because, it may or may not be relevant, I'm not sure, but it's something I have been thinking about. And just thinking about this idea of these trees being so centrally important to the world of this game and to the world of all these different cosmologies and mythologies and different stories. That horse scared the daylights out of me. So Robin Wall Kimmerer is a Potawatomi scholar. She is from the Potawatomi tribe, which is located in, I believe they are indigenous to the region of what we would describe today as northeastern United States. Robin Wall Kimmerer is an ecologist, and so she's writing not only from an ecological perspective, but also from a Potawatomi perspective. Some time ago, according to Potawatomi elders, trees did not just talk to one another. They were known to stand in their own council and craft a plan. For Western scientists, however, this possibility was summarily dismissed on the grounds that plants lack the mechanisms that animals use to speak. In other words, the potentials for plants were seen purely through the lens of animal capacity. According to Robin Wall Kimmerer, however, the Potawatomi elders were right all along, as there now exists compelling evidence that trees are talking to one another. Trees communicate with one another both above ground and below. That is, through pheromones, hormone-like compounds that are wafted on the breeze, and subterranean networks of, I'm going to butcher the pronunciation of this, mycorrhizae, fungal strands that inhabit tree roots. These fungal networks weave a web of reciprocity, of giving and taking. All flourishing is mutual, Kimmerer suggests, as soil, fungi, trees, squirrels, and humans are all beneficiaries of reciprocity. The beneficiaries listed above are each embedded in what Kimmerer calls a gift economy, in which goods and services are not purchased but rather received as gifts from the earth. Gifts from the earth, Kimmerer explains, establish a particular relationship, an obligation of sorts to give, to receive, and to reciprocate. The essence of gifts, Kimmerer suggests, is that they move and their value increases with their passage. The more something is shared, Kimmerer adds, the greater its value becomes, an idea that is hard to grasp for a society steeped in notions of private property, where others are by definition excluded from sharing. In the private property economy, Kimmerer goes on to explain, the gift is deemed to be free because we obtain it free of charge, at no cost. In the gift economy, gifts are not free. The essence of a gift is that it creates a set of relationships. The currency of a gift economy is, at its root, reciprocity. In Western thinking, Kimmerer continues, private land is understood to be a bundle of rights, whereas property in a gift economy is associated with a bundle of responsibilities. And so the reason I bring this up is I've been thinking about the idea of the shattering and of the Elden Ring being shattered. Still not clear on whether those are separate events or the same event, but in reflecting on Kimmerer's work and on the idea of and the juxtaposition of the gift economy and the market economy in the world in which we live, that we are so obsessed in our world with artificially creating scarcity, with depriving people of things so that we can then gain from them. We can derive personal benefit from them at the expense of someone else. And Likewise, insofar as the Elden Ring was shattered as a means of a person or a group of persons accumulating power in order to enrich themselves at the benefit of everyone, or at the expense of everyone else, I should say, then Kimmerer's account is actually quite apt here, because this is all complete speculation anyway, but the Elden Ring could have been at the center of the ecosystem of the world, such that it facilitated reciprocation, reciprocal relationships, relationality, all of these things that are very important to Indigenous scholars, and that, you know, after so many years of just pretending like Western scientists know everything and they don't have anything to gain or anything to, no benefit to be derived from learning from and listening to Indigenous scholars, we're now obviously starting to realize that was a complete farce, that Indigenous scholars, just because they have ways of knowing that are very different from European ways of knowing that are based in the Enlightenment and European ways of thinking and relating to the world, that doesn't mean that they're any less important or any less valuable. And in fact, in many cases, when it comes to ecosystems and the environment and taking care of the world around us, this relational way of looking at the world, of looking at humans not as existing above other things, but as existing in harmony with nature as best as they possibly can, of only taking what you need and leaving everything else, of not just senselessly murdering things as you come across them. I'm not really sure where I'm going with this, except to say, my reading, at least after however many hours, how many hours have I been playing this? Some of that is not actually playtime, 12 and a half hours. Some of that is just me capturing footage. But after about 12 and a half hours of playing the game, it's interesting that I'm thinking about these things and just thinking there's a lot here. And maybe that is, once again, and this is an area behind this bridge here that I meant to mention earlier, where it looks like it's almost like Dreadkeep-esque with how rough everything looks in the distance there. But, and you know, maybe it's, once again, it's the type of story in FromSoft games, as they usually are, where you see a reflection of yourself in the story that they're telling, because they allow you to do that. They leave just enough wiggle room for you to actually read into the story what matters for you, and to come up with a different interpretation, to filter the story through the lens of your own experience and beliefs and culture and whatnot. So yeah, I think it's interesting anyway. I hope you do as well. But without further ado, let's get started. So we are heading to the east, which is this way. Oh, and so I was hoping that you would be able to see the waypoint. What's it called? Not waypoint. The beacon on the compass, and indeed we can. Whoa! Can actually see it in the world too? For real? Okay, that's interesting. So can I just put a bunch of them here and... Whoa, that's pretty cool. I'm seeing this. I really wish there were a legend for the icons in the corner. Oh, another place that was not... I'm trying to remove all my beacons here now. Another thing that was not on my list of sites of potential areas to go, although it should have been, was... I put it in scare quotes in my notes here. It says Farron Keep, and that is that swamp-esque area, and maybe that's where we're headed. Although I think actually the swamp-esque area is right here. So if the area in which we're headed, if that's a dead end, then maybe we'll go to the quote-unquote Farron Keep. It just occurred to me that maybe there is a legend for that type of stuff here somewhere. It does not look that way. I know I should probably be riding my spectral steed, good old Torrent, but I don't know, it's a weird feeling to me riding a horse in a Souls game, and maybe I'll get used to it. Or maybe I have to get used to it, but yeah. And I'm also not going to avoid these friends any longer. Because the last couple friends like those we came across, they actually had important items. Oh. It actually does not look like we can go here. I don't think we have any prism stones. Oh, I'm so tempted though. I feel like that looks like it could be a spot where you don't incur fall damage. Okay, clearly that person had the same thought as me, but or just view horse and then try jumping. Okay. Okay. That's pretty funny. Just as I was saying, yeah, you know, guys, I really don't like using horses in FromSoft games. It's just not right, you know. I don't believe in it. I'm not going to do it. And then, of course, I reach a spot where you do indeed require a horse. Go figure. Okay. Thank you. Shout out to that message, because I don't know that I would have had the... Don't know that I would have been brave enough to just try it, were it not for that kind Samaritan. Okie dokie. Let's give her a shot. I really don't have a good jump button, though. Here we go. Oh. Oh. Okay, does the horse just not... Do you not incur fall damage on the horse? Or was it because of this thing that we actually didn't incur fall damage? Uh-oh. Okay, horsey friend. I think it's time for you to go. I don't want you to get hurt. I'm seeing some doggos in the distance. Where are we? Are we still in... We are still in Limgrave, according to the save file. At least the world area Limgrave. Oh, we really should get some more bows. Or some more bows, some more arrows. So once again, I don't know why I'm even mentioning it, because in previous episodes, thankfully, it was not really an issue, the air conditioning noise in the background, so really don't need to mention it, but I guess I'm going to complain anyway. It is very hot in here once again. It's 29 degrees Celsius in my office. I do have the air conditioning on, but as I likely mentioned in the previous episode, as it turns out, our air conditioning unit is broken. So you might ask why I have it on, and the answer is that even though it's broken, more specifically, it's broken... Oh, so... Are the trees here are rotten because these trees are secreting the resin, or the roots are secreting the resin, so that's interesting. But yeah, our compressor, the compressor for the air conditioner is broken, which very inconveniently, that is by far the most expensive part of an air conditioning unit, such that the repair person essentially told us that it's actually, more often than not, it's more worthwhile. Wow, you have a ton of health, don't you? More often, it's you're better off just buying an entirely new unit. But as it turns out, our compressor was thankfully still under warranty. So we are waiting now until Monday to get the compressor replaced, and so it's a bit of a risky proposition because the compressor's under warranty. Oh, look at these friends. Oh, they're skeletons, aren't they? Hi. Did I stumble into the wrong part of town? Oh no, that's bad. Okay. Are they annoyed at me for messing with their plant? Oh! Okay, that's bad. Okay. We separated them at least. Okay, thankfully not tremendously. Shouldn't talk smack before he's dead. Thank you. Whew. Oh. Okay. Okay. So we have to kill them twice? Or is this... Gosh, we read an item description which mentions something approximating catacombs type mechanic where you have to have a divine weapon or something to that effect. Oh my gosh. What the heck is that? I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Where the heck are we? Oh my gosh, I have no idea where we are. Maybe we'll be better off waiting until we get a map for this place. Gosh darn it. Yeah, it's interesting, those respawning friends, because in Dark Souls 1... Oh, are they just gonna rise? Rickety shield. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's a bear. It's a bear. Oh my gosh, it has so much HP too. Oh. What the heck was that? Oh, I gotta heal up. Thank you, panic dodges. It's like a bear mixed with like a sloth. Run out of flasks. Oh, that one hurt real bad. Whew. Okay, that was intense. I did not think I stood any chance there. Hefty beast bone. Beast blood. Oh, gold tinged excrement. So friend was eating gold shards of the Erd tree or something? Oh my goodness, okay, that was, yeah, quite intense. Beast blood, fresh beast blood, glinting with gold, material used for crafting items found by hunting carnivorous beasts. This glimmering blood never rots or decays. Hefty beast bone, commonly used to make disposable weapons. So they're thick and solid as opposed to thin and hard. Gold tinged excrement. Someone's excrement, it has a golden tinge. Material used for crafting items, often hidden in woods and thickets. Gold-tinged excrement is a highly stable substance. It doesn't dry out nor does it lose its customary warmth or scent. For better or worse, it remains as it is. Okay, so hinting at the immortality granting properties of the Erd tree and perhaps the minor Erd trees or the minor great trees. Gosh darn it, that's going to drive everyone nuts because I can't keep straight the difference between the various kinds of trees and whether the Erd tree, whether it's like a star-sun situation wherein, you know, we talked about this in the previous episode or one of the previous episodes where the solar system, okay, that's a smaller bear, thankfully, not a giant one. Oh, there's another one as well. Oh, gosh darn. Okay, we're going to leave that skull alone. The sun is a star, but close up. This is how Carl Sagan used to articulate this point anyway. The sun is a star, but close up, and the stars are suns, for the most part, but very far away. And I say for the most part because you can look up in the sky, and depending on the Earth's rotation and where the other planets are in their orbits, you can also see other planets as well. Easiest one to spot, obviously, being Venus. Why is there a patch of blood? Is that a player? Oh, okay. Really had me there. Oh, that's another giant bear sloth friend. Okay, fighting one is enough. I don't know if I want to fight another one. I just want to find a site of grace, please. That's all I want. Oh, don't alert your friends. Oh. Oh, is that what I think it is? It is! Thank you! Thank you, Grace. Oh, that's a relief. Question is, do we want to sit? We have almost enough runes to level up, but I also don't want... Oh, we could have got here a much easier way by just... Whoops, that's okay. So what is the name of this? Site of Grace. Mistwood Outskirts. Okay. Yeah, I don't want to respawn that one bear sloth friend, so I'm not going to rest. Oh, it's a bat. I hate the bats. I wonder if it's advisable to only sort of go wandering when... Oh my gosh, that one's sleeping too. I have a feeling the loot there is actually quite good. Oh, oh. Oh no, friend. No, I wasn't gonna rob you guys, I swear. Oh no. Oh, are you joking? Oh, why is he frozen? Okay. Oh, okay. That was easier than I was expecting it to be. Oh. Is he also afraid of the vampire bats? I'm sorry, friend. What the heck? A bear looking for the larger bears or something? I was going to say, I know they do that because... I don't actually know. It's more speculation. I watch a lot of bear cam, which is to say, if you go on YouTube and you search for Katmai National Forest, by the time you're watching this, it's likely that the bears will be hibernating again, but I think it's called explore.org Katmai National Forest bear cam, and oh my gosh, I want these items. Oh, looks like I might have to deal with at least one of them, because the sleeping friend... Oh no. Oh, I deserve that. I deserve that. Ah, gosh darn it. That hurt. Okay, thankfully, the compass not only shows our beacon, but also where our runes are. I've opened a couple threads, I'm realizing, discussion topics that I've not yet closed. So the first one, I'll just say briefly, the air conditioning thing. Because our compressor was under warranty, thankfully, it is, well, it's only going to cost, he says. Oh my gosh, the bear is scratching the tree. Usually it's the other way around. They rub up against the tree to scratch their backs and whatnot, but... Oh, did I just aggro that bear even though it was leaving the pond? Not smart, Aegon. Yeah, the compressor, even though it's partially covered under warranty, is going to cost $2,500 to fix, which is somewhat risky because it could indicate that there's a worse structural problem with the unit. And that is obviously problematic because you could end up paying $2,500 for to have a brand new compressor installed, and then end up having to get a new unit anyway because there's a larger, more structural issue with the air conditioner. That you can see the little pieces of gold in the water here. And so the gold from the Erd tree is presumably, anyway, linked to immortality. And that is presumably why the Elden Ring was shattered and why the shattering took place, because people crave power, they want power, and they're willing to do whatever they want to get the power, as well as to deprive others of power. Gold-tinged excrement. This is risky. Golden rune, that's good. Okay, he's going to wake up for sure when we take this. Oh, throwing dagger. He did not wake up. That's surprising. Anyways, so it costs something like $5,000 to get a brand new air conditioner. So we're going to take the risk and get the new compressor and hope for the best. Because also, we don't like being wasteful and whatnot. But yeah, it's rough. Just moved into a new place. We have lots of expenses, more expenses coming up, and then suddenly your air conditioner breaks in the middle of a heat wave. And it's, it's not as bad here in Canada right now as it is elsewhere in the world. I'm led to understand that in some places, it's like 40 degrees Celsius right now, where normally it's like 20 or so at this time of year. But here in Canada, 31, 32 basically every day in Toronto anyway. Maybe hotter elsewhere in Canada, but... so that was one thread. And then what was the other one? Gosh darn it. Bears. Yeah, Katmai National Forest bear cam. Highly recommend it. Just watching the bears at the river, which is called... What is the river called? Gosh darn it. Yeah. As usual, my mind is not working at capacity today, just given the heat and... stress and anxiety of my life at the moment, unfortunately. But, Katmai National Forest, it's great to watch the bears. You see them fishing for sockeye salmon, and feeding their young, fighting over territory, things like that. And they have a few other cams set up in there as well. And Katmai National Forest, for those of you who are not aware, is in Alaska, in what is presently known as the United States. Gold-tinged excrement everywhere. So... the bears are eating gold. Presumably the pieces of the tree that were shattered and sort of spread everywhere. Again, gosh darn it, I should really make like a flow chart explaining all of these things, but I want to say that was as a result of the shattering, which spread the gold everywhere. And of course, there's many different types of bears that do different things. And, the bears at Katmai National Forest in Alaska are probably among the more privileged bears in the world, because it's a site that is relatively undisturbed by humans. I say relatively because there is definitely a human presence in Katmai National Forest. sports fishers. Oh, these friends are around during the day? What the heck? Or is that just in this location? There's sports fishers as well as park rangers and things like that. But yeah, it's something I would highly recommend. It's just a relaxing thing to have on the TV in the background. It's a live stream. It's only live. I think the camera it runs on solar power or something, so it's not live all the time. But when it has power and it's on, it can be quite entertaining, or at least relaxing to watch the bears sort of do their thing in their natural habitat. And so I have quite a soft spot for bears. And another funny thing I quite enjoy about watching watching them at the river is that you really, and so occasionally in the downriver cam, you will see bears sort of rubbing their backs with their trees because they can't really reach back there, and not the other way around. Oh, okay. So based on that deviation then from their natural sort of quote unquote natural inclination to rub their backs against trees, are they digging? Is this a bear looking for gold? They're trying to eat gold. Or has the gold contaminated their natural supply of food via process of biomagnification or something? Again, opening a ton of threads here, but biomagnification is the process through which contaminants get absorbed into a food chain. So in my home province, that is presently known as Ontario, the Ground Slam, the Grassy Narrows First Nation, and I believe this is something I talked about in the context of Bloodborne, they contracted Minamata disease, or mercury poisoning, from the fish which were contaminated with mercury, because the Dryden Chemical Company in Ontario, they dumped wastewater into the river, something like 10 or 15 kilometers upstream from the Grassy Narrows First Nation for decades. And as a result of that wastewater, the fish in the area, they consumed the mercury. It affected them, and then at each step up the food chain, it essentially magnified itself, so hence the term biomagnification. And so either the bears are directly looking for, they're sort of fiending for this gold, or they are indirectly eating it through a process of biomagnification, which is presumably what happened in Bloodborne as well in the fishing hamlet. Is that all the threads I opened up? I don't think it is. I think there's a thread or two that I've left dangling at this point, but maybe we'll see if I can get to it. These are new friends, I want to say. They do not look friendly, even though they're friends. Oh yeah, these are orcs? Oh, what the? They look orcish. Again, maybe I'm thinking too much into it. Glass shard, and we have another item description I want to read as well. Maybe I'm thinking too much into it based on the George R. R. Martin reference, or connection in this game, I should say. This poor friend. He's like, oh, where did everyone go? Okay, glowstone. But yeah, so maybe I'm thinking too much of it based on the George R. R. Martin connection, that he would want orcs in it based on his affinity for Tolkien lore. Or maybe those are not actually orcs at all. The other thing I wanted to mention, the thread that I raised earlier about the trees, the Ents in the Lord of the Rings movies and Tolkien lore, is the idea that the Ents were taught English by the elves, who were sort of human-esque species, beings, whatever. And it's a very sort of anthropocentric way of looking at it, and which is more or less in line with what Robin Wall Kimmerer argues in Braiding Sweetgrass, which is that scientists sort of just take for granted that trees don't communicate to one another because they don't speak in the same way that we expect animals to speak. They don't communicate in the same way we expect animals to communicate. And so, yeah, once again, likewise, in this game, it would appear anyway that humans are meddling in nature and natural things like the Elden Ring because they have this desire to create a human-centric world in which they have all the power and everyone else is subordinate to them, instead of sort of existing in harmony with everything. Yeah, I think that was it, at least of the things I remember. And now we have item descriptions, which I'm probably not going to be able to find. Ash of War, Ground Slam. This Ash of War grants an armament the heavy affinity and the following skill. Ground Slam. Jump up high into the air and crash down on the ground ahead. The resulting pratfall sends a powerful shockwave in all directions, usable on all melee armaments. So essentially a ground pound, butt slam, whatever you want to call it. Glass shard covered in dirt. Because it sparkles in the light, it might be mistaken for an object of value when seen from afar. It cannot produce light by itself, essentially worthless. Okay, so it's funny, I set the beacon here, but I'm not actually sure that there's anything there. I think it was just sort of, let's go in this general direction and see where we go, where we end up. Where we should actually be headed is what appears to be a lighthouse. I think that's the highest likelihood that we'll find a site of grace or something. And indeed, I am seeing a shack here, but I'm also hearing... I know they're not... Minor Erdtree, very interesting. I'm also hearing what I know is not a vagrant, but the friends I liken to vagrants for some reason. No, come back, it's okay. Tarnished golden sunflower. Ah, seems familiar, therefore praise the dark. Spiked cracked tear and greenspill crystal tear. A crystal tear forms slowly over the ages where the Erdtree's bounty falls to the ground. Can be mixed in the flask of wondrous physic. The resulting concoction temporarily raises one's maximum stamina. Can be mixed in the flask of wondrous physic. That's the Estus, isn't it? No, that's the flask of crimson tears. Do we have the flask of wondrous physic? I feel like we've heard about it, but maybe we don't yet have it. This has basically the same description except that it increases the power of charged attacks for a certain duration. Okie dokie. Is that another one? Wow. So I guess they congregate around minor Erdtrees? This game is, yeah, amazing. Really, really quite amazing so far. It just makes me sad that I don't have more time to play it. As I mentioned earlier, it's been about a week since I recorded the previous episode. So, you know, ideally, I'd be playing a lot more often, and so it would be a lot easier in that context to sort of draw connections between things that I've seen and read and keep things fresh in my mind. But as it stands, just unfortunately don't have the time to play every day like I would like to. I was talking all about the air conditioner and stuff like that, and just how things are a bit stressful right now, and the reason for that is, at least in part, that I just have not been able to find a new job since my previous contract ended, and it's been frustrating, to say the least, because I've been applying for basically everything and anything, and jobs that, you know, I don't actually want to do, but I'm just so desperate for a job at this point that I'm applying everywhere. And yeah, it can be pretty demoralizing, especially when, because, you know, I had a job interview. I thought it went really well, but ultimately I was not offered the position, and yeah, it can just be quite demoralizing when that happens. I'm sure many of you, if not all of you, can relate to that feeling. Yeah, especially when, you know, air conditioner breaks in the middle of a heat wave and you just don't have any money to contribute to the repair. Thankfully, my wife is responsible, and, you know, she had money saved, so, you know, we have the possibility of getting it fixed, so I'm still exceptionally privileged in that sense, but yeah, just, you know, stressful in general. But I know a lot of people are going through a very hard time right now in the world, so I'm not special or unique. I'm not immune from struggle. Shouldn't be immune from struggle anyway, given my exceptional privilege otherwise. But yeah, well, that's interesting. The heck was that? Okay. I don't even think I saw the lighthouse because I got distracted by all these other things. So I think that's a lighthouse over there, quote-unquote lighthouse. But I'd like to see what's in here first. Something incredible ahead. Okay. Siofra River Well. Okay. What? It's a trap? Or are these people just forgetting to... Okay, I'm scared now. I'm looking for one of these ghosts to give me some directions. Oh, that friend just stood on it. Okay. Okay, people are just trolling, right? Doing that? They have to be. Pretty amazing. This is one cool elevator, I gotta say. Anyways, yeah, so it's been a bit of a stressful time. If you see ads on this video, that's why. Just money is a problem right now. And, what the heck? Where the heck are we even going? Oh, I'm starting to get freaked out. What the... I want to see where we're at. Yeah, Siofra River Well. Okay, this is a lot bigger than a river well. Again, I don't mean to continually draw comparisons to... And I guess I'm not... Siofra River. I guess I'm not continually doing this, but in the Elder Scrolls Skyrim, there is a very large subterranean area, the name of which escapes me, which is very reminiscent of this. Maybe not in like the Greek columns and whatnot that you see here, but in sort of the cosmos-esque aesthetic to it, that everything is sort of bright and shiny despite being underground. Wow. Quite something. I don't think we're going to go any further here, though. I think once again we are... Gosh darn it. Well played. We are still in survey mode, which is to say we're surveying all of these different areas. Visions of something incredible. So that we can sort of get a sense... Melted mushroom. We can get a sense of our options as far as places to go before we commit to any one path. But I think I might actually have to start committing soon, because over and over and over again, we're just opening up these massive, massive areas, or areas that look massive anyway. But melted mushroom. A mushroom that grows in the false night in and around the eternal city. Material used for crafting items. It drips with a viscous fluid that behaves much like oil. So someone's lighting the candles here. Dew-kissed herba. Okay, some eerie noises here. I'm just going to grab whatever items are immediately available to us, then we're going to go. A herb that grows in the false night in and around the eternal city. Material used for crafting items. Soaked in arcane dew, it gives off the faint glow of starlight. Some eerie noises here as well. Golden rune times 3. I'm intrigued but frightened at the same time. So I think we're going to just, yeah, again, gather up some items here and then warp back. I've already got that, I think. Although, I might be flying too close to the sun here. Because the music is getting rather creepy sounding. Ghost Glovewort. Furl Calling Finger Remedy. Time for crouching. Yeah, not quite. Furl Calling Finger Remedy. They really got me with the Skyrim thing again. With really just making me want to continually just go and grab all of the plants and flowers and things that you can pick. But I think we're going to head back because I'm scared and we still have not checked out the lighthouse yet. Oh my gosh, so we're on an entirely different... Wow, so okay, this game just got even larger. Because there's an above ground map and a below ground map. Interestingly, the Table of Lost Grace is only visible on the above ground map. I wonder if that means it actually corresponds with... Does that actually correspond with its physical location? An open question, I suppose. It's perhaps silly of me to not just go back up, because we're a little bit further away from the lighthouse, which may or may not actually have anything there, but let's see if we can level up. We can. Before we go back out exploring. So I'm just over an hour into my recording. Once again, I only have about 2 hours for recording, just over 2 hours maybe. So don't know how much in the end will actually make it into the episode, because once more I'm recording everything, but when I'm editing the episode I may find that certain things are actually not all that interesting, or that I'm saying things that are not all that insightful, probably not original, things like that. So yeah, I'm never quite sure what an episode is going to be like until I've finished editing it, because it can be easy to just sort of go on autopilot, at least for me, and just talk and talk and talk and have no meaningful sense of whether the things you're saying are meaningful or valuable in any way, shape, or form. Oh my gosh, no. Oh, okay, I got ambushed. Oh no, sorry friends. Excuse me. And maybe it's just because, you know, with the whole job search thing and feeling like I'm a bit hard on my luck right now. I'm not sure if that's the correct term. Down on my luck. That not feeling especially confident, but... Oh, right, so the standing. That's something... Going back to the bear cam. That's something that I've seen many times the bears on the Katmai National Forest bear cam doing. They stand on their hind legs just to sort of see what's going on. I think it's a vision thing more than anything. I don't know why they're doing it. Are they trying to, like, big themselves up so that they look more threatening? Not sure. Yeah, so anyways, that was the original point I was going to make when I brought up the bear cam, but I got sidetracked as usual. But I would recommend checking it out. If I remember, I will leave a link in the video description to the bear cam. Oh, okay. What is this? Wow, it's like a spectral candle? Okay. Oh. Hold on, friend. Got a couple flowers over here I gotta pick real quick. What the... Is he leading me right to the beacon, or is he leading me to the underground place? Suppose we'll find out. Very helpful of him to dip his feet in whatever you call it, blacklight paint or something. Ah, beautiful. Oh my gosh, this bear. We'll have to come back for that item, I think. I have a feeling Friend is just leading us to the underground area, the river... What the heck was it called? Is that where he's going? Siofra Riverwell. I would just let him go and then come back to follow the path, but my worry is that the path will actually disappear, so I'm just going to follow it. One thing that I don't actually wish this, but I guess it would be interesting, is if, as in Skyrim, you could somehow level up your stealth abilities. That was something I always, in Bethesda games, I very much a stealth build type of person. Although I suppose that was a thing in Demon Souls, the spiring, I believe it was. More or less serves the same function, as well as the... Is this where I thought it was? No! Mistwood Ruins. Blad the Half-Wolf. Okay. Sorry, your ghost friend, for not giving you more credit. That you were leading me somewhere new. Okay. This has got to be a friend, right? This can't be a boss. Or is it a sleeping friend? Trina's Lily. Oh, no. No, friend, no! Why? Gosh darn it. Oh, it serves me right for picking your poo. I shouldn't have done that. Oh, now I see where Ghost Friend was leading me. Thank goodness. Thank you, Ghost Friend. Jeez. Okay, this is quite fruitful, actually, as a cheese spot. Oh, unless he's anticipating that. Oh my gosh. I should really say they. I have no sense of what this bear's gender might be. I'm sorry. This is this is not what you deserve, bear friend. But they did place you here. Gosh, we are going to need more arrows very soon. I would be upset too, bear friend. I'm sorry. Okay, thankfully, we do have that crossbow. We can't wield this one, I don't have enough dex, so might as well just use this one. Can we aim it? Oh, that was close. The lengths I go to for cheese. Oh, that hurt. Okay, maybe I'll just finish them off fair and square. By fair and square, I mean with a little bit of a risk to me, but not full risk. I'm sorry, friend. Whew. Alrighty then. Beast blood. Some more materials. Is there an item up there? No, messages. Here we go. Huh. Didn't expect something incredible. Axe Talisman. Gosh, we picked up another couple of items that I've already forgotten what they were. So we might have to read them in the next episode, unless it comes to me while we're going through all this. Oh yeah, one of them was a rickety shield. A creaky old wooden shield, circular in shape, roughly reinforced with vines. There are countless other shields available of better make. This piece of scrap isn't worth the effort of equipping. So why does it exist then? Presumably for the lore, to indicate that those orc friends, the ghost friends, whatever they were, skeletons, they are ill-equipped for some reason. Axe Talisman. A talisman depicting an axe and a warrior. Enhances charge attacks. The lord who led the long march bore an axe. His loyal warriors honored him by wielding axes of their own, making them very effective at dealing decisive blows. Furl Calling Finger Remedy. Item for online play. Craftable item. Reveals cooperative and competitive multiplayer signs. Co-op signs will be shown in gold, while hostile summoning signs will be shown in red. Multiplayer begins when you summon a player from another world through their sign. So the Golden Rune and the Golden Rune 3 and 5, it says, even now, runes are still imbued with the power of life itself. Do you see the Erd tree towering over you? Map Limgrave East. Other than the Mistwood, which envelops the south, it is known for its lands which lead to Caelid, a path trod by many a soldier in the past. Okay, so where should we head then? I feel like this looks like it's an important place. Although, where is Blade the Half-Wolf? Don't believe... Oh! And Finger Reader Crone. Is that the same Finger Reader that was here? No, different one. Wow, so there really is still quite a bit left to explore in Limgrave. Okay, we have to follow the trail back. Wait, the lighthouse that was there on the map has sort of disappeared at this point. So I'm a little bit confused. Now, which direction was that giant bear in? Because we do still need to get that item they were guarding, although there's no guarantee it is anything of value whatsoever. But, you know, I don't consider myself a completionist. Apologies for the wording. But yeah, like, I do try to pick up as many things as I can. But if I were the type of person, like, I've had comments on my content before with... Gosh, that howling keeps scaring me. I've had comments on my content before with people saying, like, oh, you know, it drives me up the wall when I see you walk by an item and not pick it up. Like, I just can't do that. I have this compulsion. I need to pick up everything. I feel very bad for anyone who feels that way and is playing this game, because it just pulls you in every different direction. Much like in Bloodborne, I want to say it was like this, where the souls, or in that game the blood echoes, or in this game the runes, they actually have they have numbers associated with them, which is an indication of, I guess, the strength of the soul, or blood echo, or rune. Gosh, I've been completely turned around by Ghost Friend and finding the map, which, you know, is not a bad thing, but okay, that's definitely something. What are you? Open for business. What? Okay, well, how do I use your shop, friend? Oh, it must be a gesture or something? Or is that him over there? What the heck? Well, here are some more of those orc friends. Ah, they do look like orcs. Oh, they're everywhere too. So this is beginning to look a bit like an ambush. Wow, that is a very powerful crossbow. Oh no. Okay, their eyes are red. That's bad. Oh yeah, there's a whole bunch of them. You know, it was a complete accident that I ended up using the halberd. I'm actually kind of enjoying it. Something different than I usually end up with. That was a delayed attack. That one was not as delayed. Got me again. Well played, friend. I'm gonna stop farting around trying to backstab you. Yeah, those are definitely orcs. Which I want to say that's the first time in a FromSoft game. These skulls, they... I really... Oh my god, are these alluring skulls? These are totally alluring skulls. I just got the reference after all this time. Ah! So he was projecting himself from over there.
Welcome, dear customer. Yes, right this way. Right this way.
Was he on the map the whole time? No. Is this the half-wolf? Hi, butterflies. Thank you.
Welcome, valued customer. Come, trade in our wandering emporium. Please, buy something. I'm hungry. I've been hungry so long. Please?
Nomadic merchant. Okay, sorry, friend. I'm sorry that you're hungry. Oh. Okay, so is he a cannibal? Festering bloody finger. So this is a cracked red eye orb. Attempts an invasion of another player's world. If successful, you will arrive as an invader, bloody finger, with the objective of defeating the host of fingers of that world. This furrowed finger is blackened with blood congestion. It seems to have been chopped off rather unceremoniously. Gruesome. Sliver of meat. Oh, found by hunting herbivorous beasts. So this friend is killing the friends that are not aggressive. That's not nice. A liver of a herbivorous beast, which boosts damage negation. This one toughens the constitution. Does that mean increase your strength or something? Or defense, most likely. Lump of flesh. Trina's Lily, we've seen that. Oh, Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 5. Beast Lure Pot. Okay, we do want smithing stones. We'll take those. Blue Gold Kite Shield. A standard medium-sized metal shield, highly reputed for its solid build and reliability. The design represents the Erd tree, foregrounded against a blue sky. Riveted wooden shield. A small wooden round shield that has been reinforced with metal. It is light and easy to handle, but cannot offer the damage negation of a true metal shield. The design riveted to the center represents both sword and tree. Saint Trina's Arrow. Arrow carved to resemble a withered water lily. Afflicts target with a powerful sleep effect. Priests of Saint Trina use these arrows to spread their teachings. The sweet oblivion of sleep can become quite the habit. Okay, interesting. Well, we did need arrows, so might as well stock up. Oh, well, you're welcome. I thought they were going to thank us for satiating their hunger, unless their hunger is for meat or something. Ah, man, this is totally the joke, isn't it? That these are alluring skulls, and literally the entire playthrough thus far I've not been able to resist. How many souls does that even give us? Golden Rune. It's 200 souls, I think. It's really not worth it. But at this point in the game, I guess I might as well keep being like a beast, just picking up alluring skulls, basically. Being like a beast. Behaving like a hollow, I should say. Again, we're at that point in the episode where I've sort of lost my ability to be articulate in any way, shape, or form. String. Boasting no special qualities, this is merely a goodly length of string. Material used for crafting items, often carried by demi-humans. Used to make certain items easier to use, so like the rope fireball, whatever it's called in this game. That makes sense. Glowstone. Again, I've not really been crafting anything, and I suppose it's once more because I haven't really needed to. I haven't felt the need to do so. I'm sure there will come a point where I'm stuck and, you know, in trouble, and I feel much more compelled to start crafting things, but as of yet, yeah, it's not really been a huge... Maybe I'll regret that, but... Hi, friend. Lord Kenneth. I'm wondering if that's the boss of the area or something. I am beginning to wonder whether I should be... Oh, that's some sort of defensive fortification or something? Is that on the map? Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. That's exactly where I was thinking we should head, even though I didn't place a beacon or anything. Yeah, you could so easily get lost in this world. Oh my gosh, what is that on the shore? That looks horrifying. Oh, no. Gosh darn it, that's not what I wanted. Some sort of hydra? Is it supposed to be a beached whale a la the Orphan of Kos, or Kos, I should say? Or, as some say, Cosm? Just what we were looking for. We are getting to that point in the episode where I'm running out of time. Fort Haight West. Where I'm running out of time and thinking, gosh darn it, we have not fought a boss in this episode. So it doesn't really have a climax of any sort. I've just been sort of exploring. Oh wait, did we fight a boss? No, we haven't. We fought the bear sloth friend. And then I got totally distracted. Gosh, that's going to be a boss, isn't it? It's very reminiscent of the fishing hamlet. Oh, there's penguins? Hi, friends. Aw. Oh. Oh, you can't fly, can you? No. It's because you're penguins. That's okay. I'm not going to hurt you, though. You can just relax. I hope it's cool enough for you here. Can you fly? No, you can't. That's okay. I'm not going to hurt you. Oh, that's cute. Yeah, what is this? So yeah, we are... Oh, that's a turtle friend. I think we're going to have to go face this thing. This looks a lot like... You know what this looks like? This looks like... I'm going to butcher the pronunciation. Ebertus? On Sophie Pilbeam and Sinclair Lore's channel. Ebertus. Yeah, there's a whole... Not Ebertas from Bloodborne. Ebertus. I apologize to anyone who, including Sophie or Sin, who might be watching this and is aware of the actual name. And is going, Aegon, I can't believe you would reference it and butcher it at the same time. And I apologize. I really am sorry. What even... Okay, so we have some tombs there. I'm really just so curious as to what everyone thinks about this game. I've only heard good things from people up to this point, but it's so different. And really kudos to FromSoft for doing something, for being so just unwavering in their artistic integrity to create something like this and to... This is a boss for sure. It can't not be a boss. This is so eerie. Yeah, kudos, because, you know, FromSoft could just keep doing the same thing over and over again, and everyone, you know, people would buy it for sure, because they are now sort of a household name in the sense that, you know, maybe not always for the right reasons, because people think, oh yeah, FromSoft, oh yeah, their games are so hard, even though that's, in my view anyway, not the reason why their games are special. Not even remotely so. Golden Rune. Visions of Waterside. Okay, I guess we're fighting this friend. Oh. I'm trying anyway. It's like a bird? Like one of those penguin friends, but... subject to some sort of Hydra mutation? sure what's going on here. Oh, now it's just throwing a tantrum. I'm sorry. I'm just... It's really no defense in a court of law. Your Honor, I was so curious. I was just curious about what the thing was, so that's why I killed it. Oh. What are you doing? Oh, growing the limbs back. Okay. That's something you can do. Okay, so this friend is also impacted by the gold stuff, which is presumably how they're able to regenerate their limbs. It's like everyone in this game world has been drinking too much Goldschlagen. Goldschlager? Really the only amount of Goldschlager, the only correct amount of Goldschlager to drink is none. But that's just me. I'm not a big drinker, so... Oh, I keep getting greedy and messing up the critical attacks. So I could be completely wrong, but the sense I get is that my reading earlier in the episode about the gold stuff and the bears is actually accurate. Land octopus ovary. Sorry, friend. Puffy, milky, white ovary of a land octopus. Material used for crafting items. Land octopuses eat humans in order to bear young, and theirs is the blood that runs through these ovaries. So it's human blood? Okay, so does that mean... Again, the humans are the source of the blight or whatever the heck is happening here. That's my reading of that anyway. I'm going to assume I can't go any farther there. Because the octopus eats humans, so it's sort of like a reverse biomagnification. Because the idea of biomagnification, and even that is kind of problematic because it's rooted in this idea of the food chain as though humans exist at the top of the food chain. And that everything else beneath humans is subordinate to them. But yeah, a reverse biomagnification in the sense that typically it's humans are eating another animal that ate something that is poisonous. And the poisonous or the toxic thing they ate gets passed up the food chain. But in this case, it was... You know, insofar as the humans, quote unquote, are considered the top of the food chain in this, that's what appears to have happened with that octopus friend. So, yeah. Okay, I'm getting towards the end of my available time today. I want to see if the octopus friend respawns. I don't... Oh, yeah, they do. Interesting. Okay. So you can farm that if you really wanted to. I don't know why you would, but... But I think I never did go back to get that item that bear was covering, or the bear was standing by and scratching the tree. However, I do want to see what is here. And also, I think that's what we'll do in the next episode, is maybe go here, although we still have this whole additional area over here that we have to explore. Gosh darn it, this game is ginormous. So I mentioned earlier that at this point in time anyway, I don't have a naming convention for all the episodes finalized yet. Like, I have one that I'm using, but I don't know if that's going to be the final one. But essentially right now, whatever the area is I'm exploring, I'm using Roman numerals in the episode title to indicate how, you know, which episode is it, how many episodes have we been exploring this particular area. And so this area, or this episode I should say, is at the moment, I think it's episode 6. I think this is Limgrave 4. Be wary of Archer. Oh, thank you. Very kind of you to give me that warning. That sounds frightening, whatever that is. Oh, orc friend. Hello. There's the archer. Thank you, iframes. Whoops. So, what was I even saying? Oh yeah, so this is Limgrave 4, but like I'm just thinking, gosh, I'm gonna have to go probably all the way up to Limgrave 10 or something like that. Did I? Oh yeah, that's the merchant friend. Let's see if there's another way around so that you don't have to deal with the archer. Those of you who watched my Bloodborne blind playthrough may remember me complaining about the likes of Jura, and also my Dark Souls 3 blind playthrough complaining about I help anytime. I tend not to enjoy when there's an archer from a great distance shooting things at me. I don't think there's any way around, unfortunately, so we're just going to have to deal with it. Just going to have to put my big boy pants on and deal with it. Or use the battlements to my advantage. Because it doesn't look like they can hit. I can break through the battlements with their arrows. Oh, iframes failed me. Yeah, thankfully those shields are not even remotely helpful. Okay, the archer is also not exceptionally proficient, so I think we're okay. Hello. Whoops. Okay, so the kick isn't exactly the same as I thought it was gonna be. Try fire. How about I try sneak? His friend has a nice sword. Come on, drop it, please. No. I'm still waiting for a claymore type weapon. Blood rose. Oh, there's a pumpkin head friend. Thankfully, these guys are... Oh, beautiful. Lord Sworn's straight sword. Unfortunately, that looks like a straight sword and not a great sword, but that's okay. Okay, so we have a number of Lord Sworns. So I assume this is the castle of the... Was it Lord Kenneth that the woman mentioned? And I see a minor Erd tree there, I think. Godric Soldier Gauntlets. Oh. Thank you, roll backstab. Okay. Let's hide in the bushes for a sec. Well-crafted straight sword with an illustrious design, wielded by regulars of a lord's army. Though blackened and damaged by years of use, it appears to have otherwise been kept in a serviceable condition, despite the soldiers having long since lost their minds. Skill, square off. This skill starts with the sword held level. Follow up with a normal attack to slash upwards through the enemy's guard, or a strong attack to perform a running thrust. Gauntlets worn by soldiers loyal to Godric the Grafted, rust-worn and stained through an unending conflict. It's okay, friends. I'm not here to bother you, don't worry. So you do appear to be able to go around the castle. Obviously, I'm looking for a boss fight. So it's not exactly what I want. Golden Seed, beautiful. So now we have 2 of them. I wonder, does the requirement increase? Like, is there a sort of law of diminishing returns applied to the Golden Seed? Because I want to say we tried to use the one we already had, Yeah, we already had one, but it didn't work. So I assume with 2, we will actually be able to upgrade our flask again. Okay, I guess we have to deal with Pumpkinhead friend. Can we get behind him? Looks like we might be able to. Oops. Question is, will I be able to do a backstab, though? No. Oh, that panic dodge! I got so overconfident there after after those first couple dodges. My goodness. Sanctuary Stone. Gosh. FromSoft doesn't want to give me a break for like even 2 seconds. Oh, we didn't read this one. White flower that blooms in catacombs. A spirit nestles close to it. Ashes which keep their renown even after death cannot be strengthened by merely corporeal glowwort. A rare piece of stone fragment found near places where ruins have fallen from the sky. Material used for crafting items. It feeds and strengthens the light as it shines. Okie dokie. Not sure what that means. Gosh darn it, I can't believe I messed up that. Because now we only have 4 flasks, so if we end up running into a boss here... Demi-human again. Yeah, it's definitely a boss, okay. Oi, okay. Alrighty. We could try to go around. What? It's like a depths type situation. Or in Demon Souls, that one boss whose name currently escapes me. We have other friends up there too. Fort Haight. That thing has got to be the boss there. Blood Rose. That was the other thing we didn't read. Can we do it? That's our first rat of the game. It actually took quite a while. Blood slick roses that bloom in blood-soaked oil, material used for crafting items. Particularly loved by those who serve the Lord of Blood. Glory to his inevitable reign. That sounds quite gruesome. Firebomb friend. Surprised it took so long to run into rats. They're in every FromSoft game. Oh my gosh. My sister-in-law is like super phobic. Super phobic is not. It's definitely not the technical term. She is quite averse to rodents in general. I know that's people in general, but she is like especially freaked out by rodents. So, okay, I thought this likely corpse. I thought that was the boss. So in other words, not that she's not really into video games, but if she ever did want to play a FromSoft game, she would definitely be in trouble because I can't think of a single FromSoft game that did not have rats in it. So the castle has obviously been overrun, or not overrun. It's in very rough shape because these are seemingly prisoners walking around, because those are hand restraints, and they're just sort of running around. You got these not nice friends with the firebombs up top, very reminiscent of those in the Undead Burg. Oh, we got arrows, didn't we? No! Gosh darn it. Not so tough when you're down here. Oh, we're going to run out of flasks very quickly in this area. It's also sort of reminiscent of, what is it, Boletarian Palace? 1-1 in Demon Souls. Speaking of which, check around corners. Oh, item, which makes me even more certain that there's something around the corner. But apparently not. So paranoid. Nomadic Warriors Cookbook 6. It doesn't actually give us any new lore. It's just the items, which themselves would give us new lore, but we're going to have to catch up with that in the next episode or a later episode. What is this? A post for tying up a horse, I think? That appears to be a coat of arms for Lord Kenneth, perhaps? Okay, I think I'm making a big mistake by proceeding here, but let's do it. We'll make mistakes together, and we will regret it together. I don't know why I keep pressing the touchpad. Where is my bow? Yeah, they look like prisoners. With the... like their hands were formerly restrained and they somehow took their hands out of it. Oh, hello. Wow, incredible view here. Okay, that's fair. Why is it always edge? By the way, Bogglebog is too poor. That's, yeah, I don't disagree with the rating, but, yeah. Let's say... beautiful ahead. Therefore... is there a... don't give up hope or something? Don't give up. Hopefully that one gets some better ratings. We should start leaving some more messages. Again, I mentioned earlier, yeah, I'm very curious what everyone else thinks, what the consensus. I think typically FromSoft games are quite well reviewed by the press, even though there are issues in and around that, such as the... oh. This is a very fancy looking friend. Looks like one of the Rune Sentinel. Whoa! I'll take that free backstab. I'm not above that. Oh, how was I supposed to use that? Oh! I was stuck there. How was I supposed to use that Storm Stomp? I don't even remember. Wow, he is a fancy friend. Ash of War, Bloody Slash. I can't even talk anymore. Tripping over my tongue. This Ash of War grants an armament, the Blood Affinity, and the following skill. Bloody Slash, Blood Oath. Skill granted by the Lord of Blood. From a low stance, coat the blade in your own blood to unleash a rending blood slash in a wide arc. Interesting. So, very reminiscent of Lady Maria from Bloodborne. At least in terms of the particle effects and whatnot that are used. Blood Rose, we already read that description. Praise the Pickle. Okay. Not sure what that means. Maybe it's a nonsense message like mine. Okay, where did I wanted to go initially? This way. Don't you dare ahead. Smithing stone, thank you. Just what I needed. Okay. I have a feeling you can make it there. I'm not willing to take the risk right this moment because of my flask situation. Oh, I actually got a refill. I feel like you can probably make that jump with a horse, but I'm not nearly adept enough to be able to do that yet, I don't think. Necessary item ahead. Thank you. Okay, this episode might just have to end with without a boss fight. I don't know why I sort of am treating this area as an exception to my approach up to this point, which has been you find the bonfires, you don't really explore the areas, and by bonfires I mean sites of grace. What the heck did this guy get killed by? Or was it a jump? No, friend. Yeah. A lot of fancy jumps I'm not really willing to try yet. Dectus medallion left. Left half of a split medallion depicting the Erd tree. Brandishing the medallion with both halves conjoined will activate the Grand Lift of Dectus, connecting the Altus Plateau to Liurnia. The right half is said to reside in Fort Feroth in the Dragon Barrow, far to the east. That's got to be this place. Far, because that says far to the east as it gets for us. Okay, interesting. So we have another sort of goal to aspire to. Oh, is there an item for jumping down, or is that just... I'm gonna say no. It doesn't look like there is. Okay, time to jump, I guess. Is that really all that's here? It would appear so. So, presumably we have to get the other half of that medallion. Oh, we can't call the horse in here. So how the heck are we supposed to get over there? Unless it's on the other side. Again, I'm sure some of you are screaming at your televisions or computer monitors right now. I apologize. I'm sure it probably seems obvious. And maybe it is, but yeah, I'm not getting it. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. Okay, I guess we're exploring around the side then. As we get near the end of the episode, I'm in my usual headspace of thinking, oh my gosh, this episode's going to be dreadful because there's no boss fight and you know, the timing or structure is off. So I'm hopeful that my anxieties are unfounded, but I think it's just because right now I'm just, as I've mentioned in past episodes, a ball of anxiety regardless. So it's on me, it's not on any of you. I hope you are aware of that. We didn't find Blade the Half-Wolf. I'm beginning to wonder if I just completely missed them, if they were just right out in the open. So I don't think we're going to fight a boss in this episode, just because I don't know where I would even find one. So perhaps the next best thing for us to do to round this out would be to go find Blade the Wolf and get that item that that bear was guarding. And to continually pick flowers. I don't know if Regret is taking the concept of the gift economy seriously. He's just picking flowers left, right, and center. He's not actually using the things. The whole idea of the gift economy is that you're not supposed to just pick things and accumulate them for your own personal benefit. You're supposed to actually be mindful of the ecosystems you're impacting by relying on the resources they provide. Maybe I'll just set a... I will set a beacon, and then we will ride our good old trusty steed, Torrent. Oh gosh darn it. I'm so tempted always to stop and pick up everything. Okay, where's our friend? Probably should have stopped at the site of grace to use our souls, and by souls I mean runes. But it's a bit too late for that now. Ah! Smithing stone. Those look like more powerful smithing stones. Left. For the item, that's a very helpful message. Be wary of sound. Time for gesturing. Okay, an item over there. Golden rune. I really don't want to have to kill Bear Friend again. It really does look like a mix of a bear and a sloth. Gosh darn it. No. I'm stuck. Okay, I think we have to cheese Bear Friend again. I'm sorry. This is not the climax I had in mind. I'm sorry, Bear Friend. Okay, drops beast blood. Yeah, I have no idea where Blade the half-wolf is. I'm wondering if it's a time of day thing. That Blade may actually not be here unless it's a certain time of day, or unless we've not met some sort of condition. Unless that's them. I keep hearing these howling noises but not having any sense of where they're coming from. Try gesturing, but first off church. Oh! I kept hearing the howling, not having any sense of where it was coming from. What was the gesture that person used? Oh, so we can't. We need the snapping fingers gesture. First off, church. So I assume that's some later area we've not yet unlocked. Gosh darn it. What is it? Church. Church of Ella. Do we have the gesture? Don't think we do. Well, let's go see. Although, darn it. Problem is if we leave, There is no site of grace nearby us, so we'll have to come back, which isn't like a huge deal, but kind of sucks. Well, friends, I'm sorry that there were no boss fights in this episode. Again, it's very difficult to ensure that there is one when you're playing the game completely blind, especially when you're sort of stubbornly sticking to a particular way of playing the game, which, for better or worse, I guess that's what I'm doing. There was still that item that bear was scratching the tree by, but oh, this is creepy. Uh-oh. These are the friends that respawn, don't they? Gosh darn it. Sacrificial twig? I'm in trouble. Out of stamina. Whoops. Okay, this is bad. Visions of the graveyard near Firelink. I guess I'm getting the climax I wanted. Oh, that's bad. That's the first time we've been poisoned. I don't think we have anything to deal with that. We may, but I'm actually not. I can't remember what the heck it is. Gosh darn it, just die. Oh, this is bad. But again, being stubborn. I guess now that I'm poisoned, I don't need to be afraid of the flower friends. Oh, I didn't even see what that was. Grave Scythe, beautiful. Okay, that's interesting. Might actually end up using that, potentially. Oh, there's a whole bunch of the gold-tinged excrement here. Hey, give me all your poison, I'm fine. Although, I say that I'm almost dead at this point. Oh. Wow, this lasts quite a long time as well. I might need to bail on this. Getting to that point, friends. Oh, this is where we... Okay, I know where we are now. This is where we actually started in the area. Wow, he has so much HP. Okay, that's our last flask. Darn it. This is going to be actually quite close. Can't get hit by any of those. Oh, I keep missing the critical attacks. Oh, thank you. I was hoping that one of these friends would give us some flasks. Thank goodness. Okay, yeah. I wonder if it's going to let me warp. Again, I'm conflating this game's mechanics with those of Skyrim. Because I believe in Skyrim you can't warp if you're being, or fast travel, quote unquote, if you're being harmed, if you have poison or something like that. I guess the idea is that you're actually walking, whereas in this game you are legitimately warping. Can you use this to go back up, or is it just to go down? Okay, yeah, it's just to go down. Alright, well, yeah, I guess that's going to do it. So, thank you all very, very much for joining me, and I will see you in the next one. Bye!